What's good, y'all? Welcome back to 52 Books. We are on the second video, part 2 of The Mind-Gut Connection, written by Amaran Meyer. Dr. Amaran Meyer. So far, man, this book has been going good. So let's get into part 2 and see what this is about, man. We're going to finish up the book today. Y'all already know. Cue background music. Let's get it. Yo, I know y'all probably thinking, yo, that joint got extra bright. I know the sun has since came up as I was reading the text. And yo, if you don't get this book, I know I say this for like all the books that I have read so far, but I really enjoyed this book. The Mind-Gut Connection. Yo, this is real. This is real. So let's talk about what the book was about. Obviously, it is talking about the mind-gut connection between your mind and your gut and everything that has to do with that. All right, so the gut is the most complex sensory organ in the body. And so the connection between the mind and the gut is done by the vagus nerve. And so what the vagus nerve is, it basically controls all the connections between the different nervous systems in the body. However, the biggest connection is between the gut and the mind. And how all that works is through serotonin. Serotonin is important in this generation of gut sensation. And what that means is, as you are eating something and it goes down into your stomach, serotonin starts to be produced. And so as it is produced, it lets your small intestine and your large intestine know that something is coming, and it's specific. Depending on if you're eating hot foods, sweet foods, savory, salty. As you see it, your mind sees the food, your body starts to produce everything that it needs to process and digest that specific food. And I thought that was crazy. So as you see the food, serotonin is being produced, and it's letting the body know, hey, he's eating some pizza right now. So get ready for some bread, some meat, some cheese, some sauce, a little something. And so the body, the gut gets ready for it, and it produces these sensations, and it lets the body know, hey, stuff is coming. And the small intestine and the large intestine and all the other organs that go with digesting food, they activate and they start to do the process. And it's not just eating, it's also in emotions and everything. Everything is produced. Your body is a chemical factory. As the author continued in the book, he got to the point where he talks about going to the bathroom. Not number one, number two. He tells a story about a patient who was never able to go number two by herself. Like, by herself, I mean, it wouldn't happen in her body. It wouldn't happen. Like the feeling, you know, when you gotta go. Like, it wouldn't happen like that. So she would have to take enemas. She would not be able to have a bowel movement. That's the word. She would not be able to have a bowel movement without taking an enema or having an enema. And if you don't know what an enema is, it is it is when you put something up your rectum, and sometimes some people do coffee enemas, some people just do water, some people do whatever. But that fluid goes in there and it activates the large intestine. It activates it. So it activates it, and then you take out the enema. And like within like 5 minutes, 2 minutes, sometimes it works fast. 2 minutes, you'll have to go. You'll have a bowel movement. So she couldn't have a bowel movement without enema. And that was a result of, I guess back in the day, part of healthcare for mothers, they will give their children enemas to help them go to the bathroom. The problem with that was, for this lady, is because she was always doing enemas as a child, her mother always had her do enemas, her bacteria in her gut never got to the place where they could do it on its own. And so as a result, she suffered for that. If you're not having bowel movements, it affects your physical health, your mental health. It leads to different diseases like Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, a whole bunch of things, because the gut is connected to the mind. The gut is not processing things properly. Your mind is going to be messed up. Your emotions are going to be messed up. And he shows that even in ancient times, there was a huge emphasis on ridding the body of dead waste, poop. And so in ancient Egypt, there was this god of auto intoxication. The name is Theot or Thoat, but it's spelled like thought. And so the ancient Egyptian god Thoth, the ancient Egyptian god Thoth was the god of auto intoxication. And so Egypt had a person that was their job to give enemas to people, and that job title was called Keeper of the Rectum. That was that job title. Very crazy. Continued on in the book, he got to talking about early childhood developments, just like the lady. So children, they have low microbe diversity when they are born, but the microdiversity that they end up with in life comes from passing through the woman's vagina, because in the vagina there are microbes, and the book calls them microbiota, that the child, as the child passes through the vagina, the child is getting those microbes as the child grows, those microbes starts to change and starts to get more diverse, which is in benefit for the child. Everything you do as a child will affect how healthy you will be as an adult, because those microbes are becoming more and more diverse. And if you change that and affect it in any way, shape, or form, it will affect you in adulthood. Going back to the lady who couldn't poop on her own. And there were actually studies that were done to see the development of a child in regards to their health done between children who pass through the vagina and children who were born via cesarean section, C-section and whatnot. They did the study on rats. They found that rats who passed through the vagina had a healthier microbe development and diversity than those of cesarean birth. Now, those who came through the vagina, rat, were more stable emotionally, physically, in contrast to those who cesarean wise. I thought that was amazing. The point of this book is to bring awareness of the second brain, of the gut, to bring awareness, and there's different things that you can do to have optimal health by treating your gut right. So there are certain things that you can do by treating your gut right that can give you optimal health. A Mediterranean diet has been shown to benefit the microbial diversity and the overall health of those who are on the Mediterranean diet, because the Mediterranean diet has less animal fat products. So less animal fat products, processed foods, fake sugars and sweeteners affect the gut microbia and affects the mind, which leads to Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. So here are 5 things you can do to improve your gut health and your overall health. Number 1, cut out animal fat. Cut out animal fat in your foods and in anything, because animal fat disrupts the diverse microbes in the gut, and it's not good for your overall health. So cut out animal fat. Number 2, have microbial diversity. Eat fermented foods. Take probiotics, because all of that helps your overall gut health. So fermented foods have been known to increase gut microbials that will help defend against sickness, diseases, and an onslaught of a lot of things. So increase that. You can drink kombucha, which is really good, or you can eat kimchi, which is fermented cabbage and carrots and a whole bunch of other things. Also sauerkraut. Number 3, cut out processed food. As you walk through the grocery store, he put a quote in there and he said, as you're walking through the grocery store, if it does not look like food, don't get it. In other words, if it doesn't look natural, if it's in a cardboard box, don't get it. If it doesn't look like food at face value, don't eat it. So cut out processed foods. That means going to McDonald's, going to Wendy's, going to do all of that. Cut it out. Number 4, fasting. Fasting has been done way in the back of history in past times. All cultures, all faiths, all religions have done fasting to benefit the overall health of the body. So a simple day fast or a water fast or intermittent fasting will benefit the body greatly. And number 5, do not eat when you are stressed. Do not eat when you are unhappy. Do not eat when you are angry. Do not eat when you are sad, because those emotions affect how food is digested. And if food is not digested properly, your body will not be able to get rid of it properly or receive and pull out the proper nutrients, which will then affect your gut, which will affect your mind. So do not eat when you are emotional. Let it pass and eat when you are happy. And those are the 5 ways that you can improve your health by taking care of your gut. The Mind Gut. Get this book. That was just a plug right there. Not for me. It was a great read. I enjoyed it, and I think you will too. With all that being said, man, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. I'm saying thank you in advance because I'm sure you're gonna like and gonna subscribe, right? Right. Like the video, share it. Peace.